Because this steam is used as a substance for electricity conducting, as you heard, that this steam is used in computers, in laptops, in mobile phones, in all those things which need electricity. But also, it is an anti-corrosion. That's why you hear of tinned beef. Those small tins where they were putting things, they would put tin to stop the rusting. This is the value of tin. Electricity conductor, anti-corrosion, and also softens malleability. Now, we need industries which use tin here directly. Somebody may come wanting to make mobile phones here, or computer laptops. But we tell him, Ugandans, educated Ugandans, commissioner, honorable, I don't know what, honorable ignorance, honorable. Say, we don't have, you cannot put a computer factory here. If you put a computer factory, you must import tin from China. And the tin in China is the one which came from China and was processed in China. This is the one we are now going to Shaka. Now, because of that, the price has gone up. But now, this tin here, processed here, will be used directly. Am I right? Or do you need to improve it a bit? You tell us. Yeah? For other manufacturers of high quality things, to have the factories here, because they will, this raw material, this process, the one you saw here, yes, some of it will be exported, but some of it can be used here directly. I will give you an example of stupidity. Stupidity at the national level. We have got Commission of Stupidity, we have got Minister of Stupidity, we have got Permanent Secretary of Stupidity. Since 1956, Uganda was exporting copper from Kirembe. But the copper they were exporting was not fully refined. The Canadian company which was doing it was called Falcon Green. They would refine copper to 94% purity, called blister copper. Now that copper, you cannot use it in factories. So they would take all that copper from Kirembe, all that time when they were producing in the 50s, 60s, 70s. It will all go to Mombasa, go abroad. Here, like in Ugazi, Meta had a factory of cables, wires of electricity, which need copper. But he could not use the Kirembe copper, because the Kirembe copper was not processed enough. Can you imagine? So, the factor of matter of cables in Rugazi has now to import what they call pyrite copper, which is 99.9% pure, to now be used in the factory. This one would all go out, that be used locally here. Hoka nembiye, tehiye, tukwasa kunyuka, lero kanoza kushakemele kihati, kulia, mbini au lubantia. Even when I commission, it's just like a circus. So that's why I Abachika, Kanungu, Muko, Yuganda. There is the high grade iron ore, the best in the world. Obtare is the best in the world. There is no other iron ore which is as rich as that one. So, abantu banje bakabagenda bakorana n'omuhindi obukanungu n'omuhindi, the Indian should take Obtare to India, pay them $47 for 1 ton. Mubarak India, I have a bioma. When he gets to India, he makes steel out of the iron ore. He makes steel. And the ton of steel is $600, $700. Here, you are paid us $47 a ton. There you are earning $600, $700, sometimes it went up even up to $900. And then all the jobs have gone there. So what sort of country can this be? What sort of leadership? So that's why therefore, especially you, the leader, and of course the civil servants, I want to thank the young man, because they are coming, Wood Cross. I want to thank you, Wood Cross. Thank you for being Christians. I don't know what your religion is, but you are behaving like Christians now. Because Christians behave in a fair way. I believe also the Muslims behave the same. In a fair way. Let the country which has got the mineral get the advantages of those minerals, but you also get your share. Like now, what will be your profit margin? Now, the way you are speaking now, you tell us. Those Christians don't hide. Not only tin, even iron ore. I don't know the minister. We don't have the minister from industry tell us what's happening. Because we are trying to build a steel industry in Rwanda. I don't know how far they have gone. Does anybody know? In Rwanda. Pass. This is so what I want now, I don't want any more destruction by any actors. The coffee which I told my son to talk about, you know this coffee, the good beans of coffee, what they call screen 18, when we export it after removing the husk, what they call cassette, we get $2.5 a kilo. When somebody roasts it and grinds it outside, he gets $40. Gets $40. So that's what I told him. How can you accept this? The coffee must be roasted here. and ground here. What's the problem? Why do you have to go and rescue? And all this money goes. The money, the jobs, just like you see here, the same with the coffee. So, oboro mugamba, n'abantu kugula emirimo, ekikuguza emirimo n'ebi. Obubaagi, obushema, okwehangamurira, okulya bw'ensolo. I think yes, the shirt I'm putting on is the Ugandan shirt. It's made by fine spinners. It is the same story. If you export cotton, you will get like $1 a kilo. When I make a shirt like this one, from the same kilo, the number of shirts, I think I can make about 4 shirts from 1 kilo of palm. I get $15. And the jobs. Pamba, wahinga pamba. Kuya tulunu. Kujireta wakaitomo mjinale, wakahamwe endugu. Nimerumo. Okore huzi, nimerumo. Okoro mwenda, nimerumo. Okuguta mwerangi, nimerumo. Okubazira, okutunga ekijwaro, nimerumo. Ejiyona, tijigabira abahera. So when I'm very happy to be here to witness another new victory in that war of liberating Africa from slavery. Now, the other thing you are talking about, the forest here, the Chibira. How we can take a Chibira? Chibira, Tutwaro Mcharo,
Kachera
Munitaka, Muhanise,
yes.
Nitakuweta Chigamba. Now, our circles of Yaraha, the chairman in C1, Yankom Himo, now the Mutu and Million Miasho. My PPS, I want to contribute 30 million shillings to the circle of the LC1 is here. The chairman was speaking here. Then we talked of the 50 million for who? For what group? You are not working. I cancel it. Because it is not logical to paralyze somebody, then you ask money from him. It's not common sense. So that one I will cancel. Start now and move forward. This is not the end of the world. Now, then the other one of getting permission to export, it should not be ad hoc. It should be a standing arrangement that once you achieve certain level, which you set, then you export automatically, I think. But the minister said she will handle it. And then what else were you talking about? Land. Land, I don't want you to use the land of stock farm. That one I don't agree. Stock farm is part of the National Research, Agricultural Research Network. We need that land to remain there for our agricultural research. So we need some other land from, I think this one is better, this one of the forest, because that one is, because agriculture is very important. You don't have an agricultural research center here in this area. This was the stock farm. Now if you change it, and what will you use? Like for instance, we have been giving coffee seedlings to farmers through Operation Wealth Creation. Then that was taken over by business people. They made the coffee seedlings very expensive. Now I would like to produce cheaper coffee seedlings for my people and coffee fruit seedlings. Where would I produce them if I don't have some of that land? So I don't think it is going to change the agricultural land network for this purpose, for factories. I think this land looks more interesting. So let's go and study that. What else was remaining? Anything else? Finish.
It is a silver-colored, anti-corrosive, malleable metal that is an excellent conductor of electricity. Anytime you want to drive an electric current over a small distance, you need tin. That includes devices such as smartphones, laptops, computers, TVs, batteries, automobiles. All of these devices require tin in them, and there's no substitute for tin in all of those applications. If you look at the supply of tin globally, it's been concentrated in the hands of 5 or 6 countries for the last decades. Those countries include China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Peru, and Brazil. What's happened over the last few decades is all of these countries are struggling to bring product to market. That's because of a few reasons. One, reserves globally are declining because most of those countries have exhausted the amount of product that they have in country. Two, China is a global leader in mineral beneficiation, and especially for tin. They're about 50% of the global supply. What happens is raw materials from Africa, from Latin America, from Southeast Asia, goes to China, gets processed there, and then the final goods are transported to all around all different parts of the world. But the challenge for China as well, as I mentioned, is that they're running out of raw materials to be able to export material. So they're not even exporting anymore, even if you're a willing and paying customer. This provides a significant opportunity for a country like Uganda to establish a refinery like this and cement itself as a trusted producer of refined tin in the global markets. This facility makes Uganda only the 11th country in the world to have a licensed commercial tin refinery. None of this would have been possible without your commitment to your vision of pushing for value addition in country. We recognize at the time that the announcement was made about the policy change that you might have received some backlash from different stakeholders because it might have interrupted the flow of business for many, many people. However, your unwavering commitment to your vision for a better Uganda, the results of the fact that thousands of local miners in the Tungamo and Isinjura districts can now go back to work and be able to have a legal buyer for their products in Uganda, being Wood Cross. Not only will we put thousands of miners back to work in those areas, our factory here employs 40 Ugandan nationals who are already up and running and well skilled with the art of doing tin smelting. Many of those are here today, and they've had significant achievements in the development of this project in a very short amount of time. And we would like to, at the end of this celebrity, recognize the achievements of some of these individuals with Madame Ruth's assistance. In addition to the ability to create jobs, this project can also produce significant revenues for the country in the form of royalties and attracting US dollars into the country. Our first consignment of refined tin of 10 tons is already available, and we're ready to export this material, and we've already paid the royalties for these consignments. And with you today, we're hoping for your blessings to allow us to export our first consignments. The Member of Parliament before me mentioned there are a number of areas that we could use for your assistance in order to make sure that we can have a successful project here in Barara. The first one being the ability to export our products in a reasonable time frame out of the country. You see, our business is very capital intensive, and when we have a consignment of goods, there's a lot of money tied up in that consignment of goods that is not there to then be able to buy more material from the miners. We've been already in discussions with the Ministry and the DGSM, who have been very supportive and helpful to us in order to really streamline that export process. What we're kindly requesting is for the Ministry to help us put together a process where within 5 days of a consignment being ready for exports, that we have the necessary approvals to be able to deliver our product to our end buyers. The second item we would require assistance is encouraging all mining companies in Uganda to bring their raw materials to the tin refinery in Woodcross, Barara. As it stands, we haven't been able to engage all of the companies that are producing the raw materials that our facility that needs very urgently. And we understand there may be pushes to provide some exemptions for them to be able to export those raw materials. We're requesting the Ministry, the DGSM, to please refrain from providing any exemptions to any countries to export raw materials as it comes to tin products. As the Member of Parliament also mentioned, we are currently in search of some land in order to build a larger tin smelter. Our goal is to establish a Pan-African tin refinery, the leading tin refinery in East Africa that can process up to 10,000 tons of tin per annum. That would make Uganda the 4th largest exporter of refined tin. We are already in discussions with a number of regional companies that are willing to bring their raw materials to Uganda and to refine them. Other tin smelters in the region have not been successful because they haven't received the support that we have from the Ministry and the government to establish our facility. With more support, we can establish Uganda as one of the global leaders in refined tin. Ability to be able to secure some land in order to build a custom tailored solution for a facility that size would be much appreciated. The next issue that we would like to bring to your attention is the incurrence of mineral rents by our mining licenses during the period when we were not able to export any of our raw materials, given that there was no value addition in country. We would kindly request for the consideration to waive mineral rents during these periods when we were not able to produce, and be able to incur mineral rents going forward now that we can actually work and have some production in hand. The next item would be your considerations regarding taxes, namely withholding tax, payee, and import duties for the equipment that we bring in to carry out our processes. We would like you to consider waiving those taxes for a period of 2 years in order to retain cash in the business and hire more people and develop the mining licenses that we have in order to bring more jobs to the miners and give them a very safe and...
You can see on the screen His Excellency the President is being given